So moving forward, there's a mitzvah de'oraisa not to believe anything else exists except you, Hashem. That means there's no other power except you. Lo yeh lecha Elohim acherim al panai. Don't have any other powers. Elohim acherim means other powers. Don't have any other powers al panai, against my faces. That's the exact translation. What are my faces? Hashem doesn't have a face. No, Hashem camouflages himself behind nature. Is really Hashem running the world. Historical events, Hashem is hiding behind that. That's why the word historia is made up of two words. Hester ka. Hashem's hiding. It's the mystery of Hashem. His history is really HaKadosh Baruch Hu behind the events. It's all midah keneged midah, and it's simultaneously with a plan that the Jewish people have to arrive at the end of time having done teshuvah. Not every single individual might be part of that, but the Jews will arrive having done teshuvah at the end of time. There will be kibbutz galios, there will be coming of Mashiach, there will be building of Beis HaMikdash by Shlishi and Tchias HaMesim. All that is guaranteed. That is going to happen. But in the meantime, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants me to realize Efes Zulasai. That's one of the messages that we leave our davening, Shachris Mincha Maariv, every single day. Efes Zulasai. Nothing else exists except for you. Know it in your mind and bring it into your thoughts. Ki Hashem hu Elokim. He is the will powers. B'shamayim ma'al. Not only in the heavens above, but on the earth beneath. Oh, by the way, you might think on the earth beneath, Hashem is not as involved. No, einaid. There's nothing else. So that's the mitzvah of Zulasai. There is no other power. It's not my mother-in-law, and it's not the boss. It's not my kids who drive me nuts. It's my thoughts that drive me nuts. It's what I'm thinking about my mother-in-law. It's what I'm thinking about life. It's what I'm thinking that's driving me nuts. It's not you making me angry. Hilchos Deus, the laws of thinking, where many of the mitzvahs of the mind are found in Rambam. It's all about taking control of my next thought. It's all about recognizing, oh, this sinner, delete. Oh, this is jealousy, delete. Oh, this is latita, delete. Oh, this is revenge, oh, delete. Oh, this is oinos dvarim, delete. Oh, I'm in the middle of saying lashon hara, delete. Stop right there. Apologize, move forward. This is what we're trying to bring out again and again, is becoming more and more aware. Paying attention creates awareness. Paying attention to how many mitzvahs of the mind are in the Torah. And even though a lot of these are not found in Shulchan Aruch, you'll see that Mishnah Berurah actually mentions that even though a lot of these are not in Shulchan Aruch, he says himself, I think it's in Kuf Nun Hey or Kuf Nun Vav in Orach Chaim, the Mishnah Berurah brings the importance of learning Tariag mitzvahs. He himself gave a shir in Sefer Charedim every single day. He says the reason why is because there's so many mitzvahs of the mind that are not reported and they're not, that you don't learn the halachas of in Shulchan Aruch. You've got to learn them because it's Tariag mitzvahs that apply nowadays. And Sefer Charedim only mention those mitzvahs of Tariag that apply nowadays. This is a biggie. Zulasa is a very big one. Don't have arrogant thoughts. Yeah, that's a mitzvah de'oraisa. Not to think, Kaichi v'oitzim yadi asa li esachayel hazeh, that I am successful in business because of my business acumen. I went to business school. I'm really good and shrewd and reading people. And no. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He's the one who's giving me the ability to be successful. And then he's the one who's actually signing the siyata d'shmaya necessary to be successful. Besides the ability to actually do the right thing, he's the one who's going to decide whether my hishtadlus will be blessed or not. So it's a mitzvah not to entertain thoughts of arrogance, that it's me who's successful in the classroom. It's me who's successful in managing this company. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants me to recognize Zulasai, nothing else. It's all Hashem has given me all those blessings. He's the one who is bringing about the necessary people and situations for me to be successful. But it's not me being successful. It's His mizavik zvugim. Hashem is bringing all these people about to give me the opportunities to choose to do the right thing. don't forget Hashem. That's a biggie as well. In fact, the smug claims he had a dream, Sefer Mitzvah Gedolos, that's Rabbi Moshe Mekusi, is one of the Balei Tosfos, that he had a dream. He was told to write the smug, which is really Tarag Mitzvahs. It's an essay on each one of the Tarag Mitzvahs split into two sections, Assays and Loit Assay. But he actually had in his dream, he was told Mina Shemayim that the Rambam made, I don't like saying the words, but the Rambam missed out the mitzvah of don't forget HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's a mitzvah d'oraisa. So that's amongst the Monei mitzvahs, don't forget Hashem. And that's a mitzvah that applies every second of our waking lives. And just being aware, Hashem, you are Echad. It's a mitzvah of emunah to recognize that you're the one who's going to let me be successful. So I don't need to lie. I don't need to cheat. I don't need to manipulate, because it's not going to help anyway. And even if it looks like it did work, it won't, because midah connected midah means Hashem, you're going to catch up with me. So there's no point in being dishonest in the first place. And when I do manipulate or cheat or tell a lie, so I'm forgetting who's really running the show. It's like, I can only make this money if I don't tell the whole truth in it. I'll only get the deal if... No. Don't forget HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's a mitzvah d'oraisa. So these are just reinforcing again and again and again. From so many angles, there are mitzvahs of the mind, hilchos thinking, which are hilchos middos. It's the true measure of a human being, is what we're thinking, and how we take control of the next thought. So moving forward, we've only got a few left. Well, this is a biggie. Don't complain, because all complaints are really against Hashem. I actually gave a talk on this on TorahAnytime.com. What is Hashem's attitude, so to speak, to my complaining? So there's a lot to be said on this. It's mentioned in a lot of different places, especially when we came out of Mitzrayim with the man and the complaints against we're tired from the journey, we don't have enough water. It's interesting that the whole Chet HaMeraglim, which was the tipping point of Hashem's anger, and it wasn't the Chet HaEgel, it wasn't all the previous complaints. No, the Chet HaMeraglim really tipped Hashem off. It was that Chet that made us end up in the Midbar for 40 years. And all that generation die. Very few entered Eretz Yisrael who were from the original generation, like Caleb and Yeshua did, and all the women, and Shevet Levi. But all the others, they fell into the Meraglim, and they got wiped out. They got wiped out in the Midbar. Why didn't they get wiped out? Because of the Chet HaEgel. That's Avodah Zarah. That's much worse than complaining. So Hashem says, no, you don't understand. Lashon Hara is complaining. Moses Shemra, that's complaining. Anger is a complaint. And Rebbe Shlomo was trying to make it very, very clear that chet of the Meraglim had repercussions, Bais Rishon, Bais Sheni, Inquisition. I mean, we're still paying the price. And so we have a loit asay not to complain. And that starts over here. So I've got to become aware of what I'm thinking. That's a complaint. If I'm not aware, I can't change anything that I'm not aware of. So I've got to pay attention to my thoughts, and by paying attention to my thoughts, I'm more likely to notice when my thoughts are complaining about myself, about others, about life, about my friends, about my I'm out of control, I'm such a slob, I'm so irresponsible when it comes to money, I'll never change. And listen to the thoughts, how I'm complaining about me, I'm my own bully. We talked about this in the bullying part of Recess. But the main point again is this is all about thinking and just becoming aware. OMG, I'm a complainer. And I didn't even realize what a complainer I am. Let go, it's thought. Let go, it's only thought. Only doesn't mean it's not harmful. It means you can let go because it's thought in the moment and you are not dictated by the thought in the moment as to what's the next thought. If you want to let go, let go. Distract. Look at the good. Stop complaining. Apologize. Be done chaschus. There's so many mitzvahs to do in the next thought. Okay, be Vato. Whopper. This is a big whopping mitzvah. Be Vato. So you'll actually find this throughout Chazal, but it's actually, according to Rambam, it's a chelik of the mitzvah of Teshuvah. To be Vato. We're going to talk about when we get to the mitzvah of Tochacha. Being Vato means let go. The word Mevata comes from the word Yoser. Yoser means gain. The English translation is so corrupted. It's like, it's innocently done, but it's just wrong. It's inaccurate. The translation we often use for Mevata is compromise, sacrifice, give in. The problem with compromise, sacrifice, give in is that I've got to let go of something and that I think belongs to me, or I'm sacrificing, I'm giving in, I'm compromising. It's not fair. the word mevater couldn't be further from the truth because it comes from the lashon of yoser. And that's according to Reb Shamshul Fel Hirsch. Mevater is lashon of yoser, which means you are gaining. You are getting stronger when you give in from strength. Being mevater, I'm just going to mention very quickly, Gemara Megillah Daf Chaf Ches Amud Aleph has there a lot of different examples where Mazutra and then later on Reb Zera attribute their long life. They lived to nearly 100 or more, and they attributed their long life to the fact that they were mevater. Mevaser hayisi b'mamoni. I was not makpid on my money. I was generous. Mevaser hayisi b'veisi, said Reb Zera. I was not makpid on the members of my household, my wife and my children. I didn't get angry with them. Wow, that's amazing. And then, so you got long life? What's that got to do with anything? Ask anybody who's a centurion, who's hit 100, almost inevitably, when you ask them what's the reason, it's because they weren't cursing and negative and complaining. They took life with its knocks. They didn't get less knocks than anyone else. They got the same knocks. But guess what? They didn't keep thinking about what you did to me. They didn't keep thinking about how unfair life is, how unjust it is. How come the ex this, my kids that, my Rebbe, my Murrah, it's because of my parents. And I got so many people to accuse and blame and complain about and compare and deny it's my fault and give excuses why it's everyone else's fault. And before you know it, stress is causing early death. No guzma, no exaggeration. This mitzvah of being mevater is gigantic. And according to Rambam, it's a chelik of teshuvah. Let go. That's the highest chelik of teshuvah, where a person is not thinking about the crime the other person did to me. If I am thinking about it and I can't be done, I can't stop judging you, then I have a mitzvah of tochacha. We're going to get to that. But even before tochacha, before the mitzvah of tochacha, the best thing is silence. We're going to talk about it soon. The best thing is let go. And when you let go, you're not compromising, you're not sacrificing, you're not giving in, you're gaining, you're the winner. Forgiveness makes you victorious. You are a winner for letting go. So this is a thought. It's all a thought. If I can't fall asleep at night because I'm thinking about that person, actually come to think of it, now I remember that it's the same person who, and I start listing various crimes I'm accumulating in my mind that reinforces my accusation based on just my interaction today. And before you know it, I'm making up a whole case against the guy, and this is all taking place over here. And Hashem says, go to sleep. Let go, stop thinking. Stop thinking about the guy. Let go. Don't wake up about it. Let go. How about deleting negative thinking? Yeah, there's a mitzvah de'oraisa. Umaltem et orlas levavchem. Umaltem, lashon mila, from bris milah, cut off, umaltem et orlas levavchem. The word orla applies to different parts of the body. There's 5 different, there can be the ears, orlas halev, your lips, in Moshe Rabbeinu, also 6:10 in Exodus, where he said, orlas vasayim ani. So, comes along, what's orlas halev? So we know lev really means mind. But what's orlas halev? The word orla means extra growth. For example, by bris milah, there's the orla, the extra skin that's called the foreskin, that's removed. Orlas halev means extra thinking. Radak, Reb David Kimchi, one of the Rishonim, in his famous Sefer Hashirashim, it's an amazing, amazing Sefer. You've got to go through it or check it out. It's a dictionary, really, of Shirashim. But on the word of Orla, he explains Orla is a lashon of miyuser, extra, it's more, beyond, unnecessary. Orlas halev means extra thinking. Umaltem et orlas levavchem. Cut off the extra thinking. You see, it's not the stress of the job that's stressing me out. You know what's weighing me down? It's the overweight thinking. The job, the boss, the career, my friends, my wife, my children, my co-workers. Before you know it, I can't carry this anymore. I'm so stressed out. What's weighing me down is not the job and it's not the co-workers. It's the thinking. It's overweight thinking that I'm stressed and I can't carry. And we use the language of, I can't carry this anymore. It's too much for me. And what is the too much? Overweight thinking. Orlas halev. Rashi brings that Timtum Alev means we're cutting our mind off from reality. Hashem is reality. Oh, Simcha is reality. Gratitude is reality, because that's all Hashem. Emunah is reality, that's Hashem. Echad, you're the only one. That's reality thinking. Oh, so Timtum Halev, which is the Yetzer Hara is really negative thinking. That's in the Kutei Ram we mentioned before in Torah Mem Tes, where he says, Machshavas Rois Hem Ha Yetzer Hara. The Machshavas Tov is Hem Ha Yetzer Tov. It's not more complicated than that. Oh, so reality thinking is what releases me, liberates me from the stress. And Umaltimet Orlas Levavchem means that when I notice that I'm having thoughts that are pulling me down, making me feel negative towards you, it's the thoughts that are making me feel that negativity. And I've got a special mitzvah, Umaltem et Orlas Levavchem, that's Sefer Charedim. It's one of the Taryag mitzvahs according to Sefer Charedim. Let's move forward. We didn't get to Yiras Hashem. Oh my gosh, Yiras Hashem is gigantic. It means don't fear anything else. Don't fear anything else except the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Oh, okay. So I shouldn't fear people. Yeah, don't worry about people. Don't have anxiety about other people. Don't worry about things you can't control. Yiras Hashem. Be motivated not to get yourself hurt by doing the wrong thing. Yeah, be motivated from Einesh, from the retribution and the repercussions of my behavior. Yeah, be fearful of that. That's called Yiras Einesh. It's very necessary. But Yiras Hashem means be in awe of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's incredible design of planet Earth, the universe, and every single detail within. Be in awe of that. That's what Rambam tells us in the mitzvah of Yiras Hashem. But also Yiras Hashem means be fearful that there really is Din V'Cheshbon. I don't have to be going around depressed all day, but when I have that time miyuchad to teshuva, whether it's in Shemona Esrei, or whether it's in Vidui, or whether it's in Hispaidus, when you're talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in your own words, in your own time, that's an appropriate thing to talk about then. Rebbeinu Shalom, help me with my Yiras Hashem. I know I'm making a lot of mistakes on a daily basis in my marriage, with my children, with myself, and my health, and help me to be more in control of reducing the wrong foods that are not good for my health, reducing the thoughts that are not good for my mental health, etc. So Yiras Hashem is a reality, and it's one of the mitzvahs Aseh Deoraisa, which applies every waking second of our lives. It's thought. That's where it takes place. It's taking place over here. Ubai Titbak. Whoa, this is a biggie. Cleave to Hashem. So even though in Rambam, the classic mitzvah is you can't be davak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's no physical entity to cleave to glue to hold on to. So it means be davak b'yodav. Be davak to those who know HaKadosh Baruch Hu, his tzaddikim, his Talmidei Chachamim. In the mitzvah as described by Rambam, it's a mitzvah to be davak to Hashem through his tzaddikim Talmidei Chachamim. That's in Hilchos Deis. You'll find it there. Marry the daughter of a Talmid Chacham and do pragmatia, do business with a Talmid Chacham. Let him benefit from your nechasim, from your assets, and help build his assets by doing business with him. Eat and drink with a Talmid Chacham, because you'll learn the lilmod ma'asehim. That's what Rambam tells us. You're going to learn how to behave and what to think and attitudes of life. Gedola shimusha shel Torah yosem limuda. It's the Gemara in Brachas Daf Vav, I think it is, that the actual shimush hachamim is greater than the actual etzem learning, because the whole purpose of learning is almanas la'asais, and here you are in the immediate proximity of people who are la'asais, because they're already Talmidei Chachamim who know what to do, what to think, how to act, and so you are role modeling off them. That's the etzem mitzvah of Boi Tidbak. But comes along Sefer Charedim and offers, well, it's a mitzvah's asay of Boi Tidbak not to stop thinking about Hashem. And he brings from Mishlei, Perek Gimel, Pasuk Vav, B'chol derachecha de'ehu. In all your ways know him. Kima, all the Svarim bring, that means not b'darkecha de'ehu, b'chol derachecha de'ehu. What does it mean in all your ways? What's that add that darkecha doesn't tell you? Oh, b'chol derachecha means not only when you're doing Hashem's mitzvahs, tefillin. Well, of course, think about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, don't be Masiach Das. Or when you're putting on tzitzit, and you have in mind that every time you look at the tzitzit, you'll remember his Taryag mitzvahs. Uri isem oisai, uschartem et kol mitzvahs. Of course, remember HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But comes along Sefer Charedim and Kima all the Musas farm and tell us B'chol derachecha means not only when you're doing Hashem's mitzvahs, but B'chol derachecha in all your ways. When you're eating, think about Hashem. Really, drinking, tashmish, going for a walk, and anything you're doing, de'ehu, Include a Kadosh Baruch Hu in your thoughts. And if you do, guess what's going to happen? Any crookedness in your life, v'hu yasha archasecha, this de'ehu is what's going to straighten out every single one of the paths in your life that are crooked. Because it's attitude, it's all in the mind. This happens to be one of the mitzvahs that the Mechaber Shulchan Aruch does go to town on in Reish Lamed Aleph, I believe it's 231 in Orach Chaim, where he tells us that all that you do should be L'Shem Shemayim, and he gives examples based on this pasuk. He quotes this pasuk: "B'chol derachecha te'ehu." In all your ways, acknowledge Hashem. Know that He's with you. Never forget He's there. Have emunah. All these mitzvahs are. They're all combined, they all dovetail, they all come together. You get multiple mitzvahs just by having the mitzvah of emunah. You're also getting the mitzvah of boititbak. So you're getting multiple mitzvahs even in one thought. But the main point again is hilchas thinking is all middos. And middos are, what am I thinking? The actions are all a toitzah. That's a product of what we're thinking. Let's move forward. Now we have the mitzvah of tefillah. Chazal tell us tefillah is kavanas halev. How do we know? Because the pasuk tells us in Perek Yud Aleph in Dvarim, and you should serve Hashem with all your levavchem, with all your thoughts. So comes along Chazal and says, what does it mean to love Hashem with your mind? Zuhi tefillah, that's talking to Hashem. Because when you're talking to Hashem, you're revealing what's on your mind. You're revealing your needs. You're revealing your wants. You're revealing what you must have. You're revealing what you're grateful for. Haidah. You're revealing what you recognize as Hashem's kindnesses. Oh, that's shevach. That's praise. You're thanking Hashem and you're praising Hashem, which creates more and more awareness because you're paying attention to the good that Hashem's doing for you. And all that's part of tefillah. But the chelik that you come to at the end of the shvach and haidah is, Rebbe Shalom, if you are really so great, I can ask you for anything and everything. There's nothing I can't ask you for. Tefillah is, you open your mouth and speak to Hashem. And what are you speaking? What's on your mind? What's on your heart? B'chol levavchem, all your thoughts. Talk to Hashem and reveal everything that's going, all the stuff that you're not happy about, all the stuff that would otherwise be seen as a complaint, but be real with the ultimate 1-800 Almighty. The ultimate therapist, who knows already what's in your mind, already what's in your heart. So the mitzvah of tefillah is actually a tamid. It applies at all times and all places, except for very few, like a bathroom or somewhere of a foul smell. But otherwise, there are no boundaries. The point is, tefillah is kavanas halev, and lev means mind. So kavana really means focus. It's a discipline of the mind. A discipline of the mind means you know what you're not allowed to think about and what Hashem wants you to think about. Reality thinking, non-reality thinking. Tefillah is probably the greatest manifestation of reality thinking. Because you're admitting that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hakol Yachol, you can do everything. So it's a mitzvah of the mind to live with Hashem with tefillah. That I'm always able to turn to you because you're everywhere all the time and there's nothing you can't do. We have a mitzvah d'oraisa. It's one of the 6 constant mitzvahs that are identified as constant, even though there are many more. Don't think of doing averos. Don't think of doing averos. That's learned from Lo taturu acharei levavchem ve'acharei neichem. Don't think about doing averos. Don't follow what your thoughts tell you or your eyes see. What does that mean? So it means if you know this is non-reality thinking, jealousy, don't follow that thought. Don't open it up. Delete. If you know loy titar is something I shouldn't be thinking, remembering other people's mistakes, and the thought pops up, loy taturu. Don't follow acharei levavchem. Don't follow those thoughts. Delete. Lo taturu acharei levavchem means don't follow your thoughts. Chazal tell us it's referring to kfira. Kfira is over here. It's in the mind. Lo taturu acharei neichem is referring to znus. It's so clear. We're talking about thoughts of the mind. That's what lo taturu acharei levavchem is referring to. We are recognizing that the Torah is telling me there are thoughts that I should follow and there are thoughts I shouldn't follow. And by knowing which thoughts I shouldn't follow, I know now what to delete. I know now what to think. I know now what to distract myself with. So lo taturu acharei levavchem, don't follow the thoughts that are non-reality, is predicated on knowing which mitzvahs I can think about and which mitzvahs I'm being warned, don't go there. Another mitzvah of the mind, also brought by Sefer Charedim, I think in Asay number 17, he says, lo yityayesh min rachamim, never despair of rachamim from Hashem, from His mercy. In a separate mitzvah, he also says, don't be miyayish that Hashem will pull you out of your problem. It's believing that nothing I can say or do or think will make a difference. And Yush is telling me, lo yityayish, don't give up. Don't despair of Hashem's rachamim. Rav Nachman of Breslov has a very strong statement where he actually makes the claim that Yush is not reality. It doesn't exist. It's a complete misunderstanding of reality. It's not true. It's not real. It's an innocent misunderstanding in almost every case, but it's simply not reality. There's Hashem's reality, which His rachamim is v'rachamav al kol ma'asav, on the whole of creation, and then there's the yush of despair of actually non-reality thinking that there's such a thing as giving up. There's no giving up. You cannot have failure. If there is failure, that's the failure to try, because one's given up. But even then, it's not too late to go to the next thought and start again. So yush is simply not reality. It doesn't exist. Comes along Sefer HaRedim and also adds that besides the mitzvah deoraisa of lo tatur acharei levavchem ve'acharei einechem, Rambam counts those two as one mitzvah. So Sefer HaRedim splits them up and says it's a separate mitzvah not to follow your thoughts, and it's a separate mitzvah not to follow what your eyes see. Because what you and I see is never real. Kimat never, ever real, because Olam Hazeh is Olam HaDimyon. So when you're looking at Olam Hazeh, you're looking at Olam HaDimyon. So if I'm reading a Dimyon, so I'm printing a Dimyon on my mind. Unless my mind knows how to look at Olam HaDimyon and realize it's an illusion. Hashem's speaking to me through the weather, through Hashgacha Pratis, through the traffic. And the traffic is an invitation for me to think stress or to distract myself by listening to relaxing music or have a stimulating conversation that's not distracting me from driving. But it's not the traffic that's stressing me out. It's thinking about the traffic that's stressing me out. It's all about thought, the mitzvahs of the mind. It's all about middos. And the more I get this as a teacher, the more I can be a role model of being in control of me with the children, because they're going to see your erech apayim. They'll see your patience. They'll see your hard to get angry. They'll see your love and listening and caring. They'll see you being done l'chavschus. They'll see you not being judgmental. It's all about teaching in the classroom, but first I've got to know hilchas middos, hilchas thinking.